I need to share this fun thing I was just thinking of, because I was thinking like, how would Scriabin write a 2-5-1 progression? And then I was like, wait a minute, I never studied Scriabin's music, and the only thing I know about him is that he likes chordal harmonies, like this. And I know how to construct like a basic Scriabin chord in every key. I was like, okay, this is great, this is fine. And of course, like Scriabin would just do like, if we were gonna do a Scriabin 2-5-1, it like the most boring answer is like a just take a regular 2-5-1 progression and just like flat the fifth for every chord in there, and make it all ninth chords too. Like if you really want like to label it anything, so make it like. Then I was like, wait, but I want to like do something interesting, so I don't want to be Scriabin. I want to be fun, which like Scriabin's very fun, so that's fine. And then I found this funny thing. Where it's like I'm doing like a 5. So first we're trying to go to A major, and of course you want to 2-5-1-1-1. Sorry, out of tune piano, but. Basically, what I was like, there are some interesting things going on with this progression that I just discovered, invented, I don't know. So first the first thing I noted is that the 2, you should build a chordal harmony on the 2. So if this is B minor, instead of B minor, just have it be a chordal harmony first. But then I also wanted to like make it go down to this motif, this famous one that everybody loves. That very like very classic. That's like the 3-2-1, but also it's like followed by like a pickup of like a leap of a sixth. So it's like you have the. It sounds very pretty. So I realized that with this progression, the very top of my chordal chord is a G, and then if I wanted it to go to I wanted it to go down smoothly, like before the leap, according to like whatever. But if I wanted to make it go down smoothly, I'd be like. And I was like, oh my god, these 3 notes, G, F, and D sharp, or E flat, if you want to call it that, these technically make up the 3 notes of E flat. So then I was like, what if actually right before the B chord, I had a B flat 7? And I was like, to make it sound a little bit more like really honed in on that E flat feeling, and then it switches to an A major feeling, so you end up getting. I was like, whoa, that sounds really cool. Cause like for a second, because I did it in E flat major, so I was like, just imagine like you're roaming around in like A major, and then you go to B flat major, and everyone's like, okay, this is fine. And then you go to this chord. Now you have B flat major. You're like, okay, well that's not really anything. This isn't special, right? You got A major 7. Or let's just do like a regular progression in A major, actually. And then instead you go to like B flat. So like fun. Actually, what if you just had like a horrifying progression the whole time? What if you had a horrifying progression the whole time and you're like. you have this horrifying progression. You have this horrifying progression. And then you have this F French augmented, C French augmented 6, F French augmented, C French augmented, S French augmented, C French augmented, and then you go to the B flat 7, and then you do like a, and then you do that chordal chord built on B, and then you go to the, because you did this to make it sound like it's going to E flat, and then you do this thing which sounds like, so it sounds like it should be this, right? That's what it sounds like, because the B flat 7 makes these three notes, G, F, E flat, it makes them sound normal. So B flat 7 B flat 7 will set up for this specific motif, but then it's kind of interrupted or something by like this thing, by this B chordal harmony. And then once you fall down to that E flat, it sounds like it resolved, but you actually have like a E scriabin if you want to do that. And then you have it do the rise up to this C sharp. So if you play that again, that really works with anything, honestly. You could make that anybody fucking progression. Anybody could use that for like, this is like my, like these types of progressions make up my favorite types of late romantic pieces. You could really write anything with these kinds of progressions. Oh, sorry. I was speeding up at the end there. I was thinking like, I think it's the harmonic rhythm that was messing me up before too, because I feel like it should really be like, maybe it should be 2-5-1. So it should be like a, like when it, okay, so let's just do a regular progression again. Oh shit, that's an E major. Let's just do a basic boring one. Actually, this is pop music now. This is pop music. No, I think it's the other way around. Whoa, that sounds really classical. That sounds really classical. Yeah, it sounds like very like late romantic classical, very late romantic classical. Like you could really go from like a pop song. You could even maybe have like a Dorian vamp, probably, and it would be like even have like a Dorian vamp like that, and it'd be like. Oh, that's so fun. That's a great progression. So again, the idea is that this B flat major 7 it leads into this motif here, G, F, E flat, which is the first 3 notes of the E flat major scale. So this would be like 5, 7 of the E flat major scale. And then you go to this chordal harmony built on the 2 of the actual scale you're going in. So if this is an A major, this would be B minor. But then you build a chordal chord on top of that. And this chordal chord on the very top, this G falls down to E flat. And then in this E flat, on this E flat, I think you should do like the 5 chord of the chord of the key you're in, and then you do like a 6th up. It's not really like a theory concept, it's just a fun musical device that could end off a phrase. Like it's the 5-7. Like if we were gonna label it chords, this would be like the flat 2. This would be like the flat 2 dominant 7 going to like chordal. I'm just gonna call it chordal 2. Chordal 2. And then this chordal 2 leads into a 5 dominant 9. Dominant 9 flat 5. Dominant 9 flat 5. And then you kind of stay on this chord. And then you go back to the 1. So it's like you could do like any progression on top of it. You could even change keys using this progression. Like if I wanted to go from A major to like D major, I'd probably do something like a... Whoa, that's actually really cool. I think it sounds cool. In a Scriabin way. But it does not, it's like, but having this same, having that same like motif everywhere is not gonna help you. It's not gonna do anything. Okay, bye.